But let's look at the stomach. This doesn't look right to me. When she starts bending that baby upward, her stomach, when she starts doing that, that doesn't look like it's attached to her body. Because when you bend over like that, your stomach should not come up that high. It doesn't do it.
There's panic behind palace walls and in Montecito alike because the story that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have tightly controlled for years is finally cracking.
Why would you do that? Why are you lying to people? Why are you trying to mislead people? Because why else are you being sort of suspicious and secretive around labor and birth unless you're trying to shuffle out a surrogate and make it look like Meghan gave birth?
According to explosive leaks from hospital records obtained through anonymous whistleblowers, the real identities of their children, Archie and Lilibet, may not be what the world was led to believe. This isn't rumor. This isn't gossip. This is the kind of leak that sends lawyers scrambling and PR teams into full lockdown. And right now, Harry and Meghan are doing everything they can to stop the truth from going viral. Here's what's now coming to light. 2 hospitals, one in London and another in California, have quietly confirmed what many have suspected for years: that neither Archie nor Lilibet were delivered by Meghan Markle at their facilities.
And because initially what happened was Meghan and Harry didn't tell Buckingham Palace right away. When Buckingham Palace got word, they said, oh, she's in labor. And then Meghan and Harry were like, no, Archie was born at 2:26 a.m. actually.
In fact, one source from the California hospital went on record under condition of anonymity, saying there's no birth record under her name, no admission file, no baby delivery matching the Sussex's timeline, nothing. That's not a clerical error, that's a cover-up. Let's rewind. When Meghan gave birth to Archie, or rather, claimed to, the announcement was odd from the start. No press on the hospital steps, no photo op, just Harry, visibly nervous, standing in front of a stable, talking vaguely about his amazing wife and the arrival of their son. The palace statement added confusion. At first, it said Meghan had gone into labor. Then it was quietly corrected to say the baby had already been born hours earlier. Why would they lie about something so basic? Now we may know why. The birth didn't happen where or how they said it did, and possibly not even by Meghan at all.
What does that thing do? It's hardly touching her stomach where the baby is. It's that left hand that's doing all the work over there, lifting that thing up. You do see these things on her. She's got monitors on her stomach. That's totally normal, because you want to know what's going on in there, right? So granted, if that is a real baby in there, or if it is, he really is pregnant.
Fast forward to Lilibet's birth. A similar pattern. No traditional announcement. No hospital photo. The only public document was a certificate of live birth, not a final state-certified birth certificate. The media was told she was born in Santa Barbara, but according to new leaks, the file trails point instead to Colorado, a state known for its surrogacy privacy laws. Coincidence? Not likely. Now here's where the bomb really drops. Internal logs from the Colorado Department of Vital Records show an unnamed child born on the exact date of Lilibet's official birthday, June 4, 2021, under a sealed private agreement tied to 2 international clients. The attending physician? Linked to a surrogacy agency that has reportedly worked with high-profile clients before. The mother's identity? Redacted. But the location, timing, and sealed terms match exactly with Harry and Meghan's narrative.
When she does that squat, that's got to be really, really uncomfortable, because that's going to be tough to do when you're in that situation. But I know this isn't right. You know this isn't right. And your brain is saying, something's not right here.
So what does this all mean? According to legal analysts familiar with royal succession laws, if Meghan and Harry used a surrogate and didn't disclose it, and then presented the children as if they were born to her biologically, that's more than misleading. It's a potential constitutional breach. Because royal titles and succession depend on verifiable birth lineage. That's why Diana, Kate, and every royal woman before them went through such public rituals to prove authenticity. But Meghan, she flipped the script, and now it might be catching up with her. Sources close to the royal family say King Charles is furious. He reportedly feels blindsided and betrayed, especially as these new leaks make him question whether he approved royal titles for 2 children whose birth stories were never verified. Prince William, who's kept a calculated distance from Harry for years, is said to be pushing for a formal inquiry behind the scenes. And Princess Anne, she's calling it a disgrace.
And she also tried to claim and sort of imply in the Oprah interview that Well, if you're not going to give him a title and make him a prince, and you're not going to give him 24/7 police protection the way Catherine and William's family has, then I'm not going to do the photo op.
What about Harry? Insiders say he's unraveling. He's reportedly lashing out at staff, disappearing for long periods, and obsessed with trying to find out who leaked the files. There's talk that even he didn't know the full truth, that Meghan and her team may have handled the surrogate arrangements privately, keeping him in the dark to protect the brand. If true, that would explain his visible anxiety in recent months, his erratic behavior, and the reports that the couple is now sleeping in separate rooms. The silence from Meghan's PR team is deafening. No denials, no statements, no carefully curated Instagram posts, just silence. And in moments like this, silence speaks volumes. Public trust is crumbling. A recent poll showed that confidence in the Sussex narrative has dropped below 20%. That's not a dip, that's a collapse. What makes this story so explosive isn't just that it exposes a lie, it's that it potentially rewrites history. If Meghan used a surrogate and claimed otherwise, then every photo, every baby shower, every Oprah interview is now tainted. Every contract signed under the image of a modern royal family might now be viewed as fraudulent. And let's not forget, these children are not just private citizens, they're Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Their existence holds political and constitutional weight. If their births were fabricated or misrepresented, the monarchy has no choice but to respond. Already, legal advisors at the palace are consulting constitutional scholars about what it would take to revoke titles and possibly remove them from the line of succession entirely. That may sound extreme, but when a lie this big sits beneath the foundation of your family, you have to tear up the floorboards to save the house. As this scandal spreads, media outlets are scrambling to secure interviews with insiders, medical staff, even possible connections to the surrogate herself. One outlet claims they've already recorded a segment with someone close to the original hospital leak, and it could air as early as next week. If that happens, if just one piece of hard evidence hits the airwaves, it's over. The fairy tale is finished. The public may forgive a lot, but not a lie about something as sacred as childbirth, especially when that lie was used to build an empire of sympathy, fame, and money. For a couple who said they wanted privacy, Meghan and Harry may now find themselves more exposed than ever. And the worst part? This didn't have to happen. The public would have accepted surrogacy. They would have respected honesty. But instead, what they got was a production, a role Meghan chose to play. And now, the final scene may be playing out, not on a Netflix special, but in the harsh light of truth. No more curated interviews, no more soft lighting, no more baby bumps made for camera angles, just questions, legal, moral, and royal questions. And until they're answered, Meghan and Harry may find themselves not just exiled from the palace, but erased from its legacy.